Welcome to episode 4 of Webway Radio. I'm Kurt.
I'm Mark.
And today we have a lot to talk about.
Quite a bit.
I wish we were returning from Adepticon. Unfortunately, not in the cards, and I'll talk about that a little later, but
We're
Disney World.
from watching.
We watched
Adepticon.
a lot of Adepticon. But I had Disney World with the family the week before.
Yeah.
And didn't want to swing 2 very expensive trips back to back. And it was the first year at the new location, so I kind of wanted them to feel it out. Based off the videos I've seen, they have a ton of space to expand. And I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's going to double next year. I
That
would
will
not
be
be
wild.
shocked. I'm so excited for them. We talk a little hobby progress as we generally do.
Yeah.
We played a game of Blackout.
Yep.
Talk about that for real brief because
Yeah.
we've talked a lot of Blackout.
Yeah.
And then basically we're going to run through our thoughts on the big announcements at Adepticon. So we've got a couple of Blackout things, Games Workshop stuff. We talk a lot about the Atomic Mass games, Legion, Shatterpoint, a little bit of MCP. And then depending on time and how much I can edit down, I might talk about my trip to Disney World. We'll see.
Have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, buckle up, get ready. And if you've heard all this before, my apologies. Anything to add?
No, that sounds like about it. It's a lot of news for a lot of games. It's a good time to be a tabletop
It was
wargamer.
a busy weekend. And of course, I was rearranging things out here, so I had the stream going unless I was moving my computer. It was up at all times.
Wow.
Yeah, so between, I think I had like 40K on a monitor and Legion on a monitor and Shatterpoint on my laptop, and it just, I had stuff going on, man. It was nice.
But no, it's exciting. Good news for the future. Roadmaps. Very fun.
Yeah. So buckle up. Let's get this going.
Let's get into it.
So let's talk about hobby progress and games played. I think you've actually done real hobby progress. I haven't, so I'll lead us off here. Went to Disney World, didn't do a whole lot for a week, and came back from Disney World, and I had one of my bookshelf / model storage / actual bookshelf thingies fall apart.
Disaster.
And yeah, it really was. I was trying to hold the bookshelf up and get the shelves off of the bookshelf, and like yelling at the kids, like, get something. And it was bad. I thought I was going to lose my glass display cases on either side of it.
Were all the models still on the shelf?
Oh yeah. So the shelves themselves, I was like pulling off the very top one with all the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, and like trying to hold the shelf up, and also trying to get it to the table to where I could just kind of slide it and get the next one, because had I let go, it just would have collapsed. And in doing that, I have purged so much stuff. Because I completely rearranged the room because I was like, you know what? It's a mess. Let's go. I've thrown so many things away. To your right in the floor, I've got probably 100 codexes, rule books, whatever, ready to be purged. I've given away carrying cases. I've given away models. I've given away so many things. Legitimately cannot give away Cadron Overlord models in the Nashhammer Discord. Please, somebody claim that thing, because I'm going to dumpster it at the end of the week. That's really it. Got my paints mounted on the wall last night, so I'm in the process of getting all of my airbrush paints and army painter paints put on the wall.
This would look really good. Just having somewhere where you can see everything and don't have to dig.
Yes. Oh, man. Because I had a guy over here last week. I helped him airbrush a model car. We were looking for a red, and I couldn't find it. And I was just like, and then I got that Kickstarter while we were at Disney World. So I was like, wait a second. I have a solution for this. And I found it. Now, the problem is the current shelf holder thingy that I printed is yellow and green and orange and blue. So it's very colorful. I think I'm just going to spray paint it. I said black, but I think white might look better. It matches all the other things in the room.
Oh, yeah, like the trim and the...
Yeah, it matches the trim and the windows and stuff. So maybe I'll try white and see how that goes.
The cap on the bottles, too. Could have been a bit of
Yeah,
match.
that would... and the colors would pop more, I think.
Yeah. Are there alternate sized like inserts for different pots? Or?
Yep. So those are just the Vallejo / Army Painter pots, but they also have inserts for Games Workshop. Ooh. They have inserts for all the major brands.
That's cool.
And he's working on Scale 75 and another one right now, Monument. He's working on Monument right now too. And then he just, because I've got the Kickstarter, he updates the file on my mini factory, and then I can just re-download it with all the new stuff. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it's nice.
You have it in perpetuity on all the new stuff.
The plates are like $2 maybe a pop to print, and then I print 4 little things that go on each plate, which is probably another $2 or $3. So I'm out maybe $30 right now, and I've got 200 paints on my wall.
That's not bad at all.
I'm really happy. It'll look a lot better when it's done. But he actually has corner pieces too. So I can put it in the corner and then continue on the other side.
Yeah.
Because my paint desk is in a corner now. So
do they pull out pretty easily?
Oh yeah, they pop right out. Cool. And there's little inserts for like hobby knives and your clippers and all of your things. There's like a paper towel holder, which is gonna clean up, or just moving that off my desk is gonna save so much space. So I'm trying to get real efficient.
Get the stuff off the wall. That was what mine are not as fancy as yours. It's just like MDF laser cut, but it's just I want this off my hobby surface.
Well, I mean, those paints alone were taking up 2 drawers on my paint desk out of like 7 or 8. So just freeing up 2 drawers now gives me, I can put this stuff there and just really get stuff where I want it to be. So
being efficient. It's great.
It's slowly happening. I just hate we're going to be out of town all weekend and I won't be able to print anything. And that's just, no. But that's all I've really been able to do as far as hobby progress goes. Yeah, like I said, Disney World kind of derailed me. And I might talk about that later. We'll see how we're looking on time.
Yeah.
I could tirade for a half hour about that place. But I digress. What have you been working on, Mark?
Oh boy. Let's see. Today, actually, I think I mentioned to you, but I got a really nice dice tower. It's like handmade, like they do all the cuts and stuff. It's finished out really nice.
Wow. What is it? Is it just like literally a tower, or is it like a...
It's like a tower and a tray. It's 2 separate pieces, but it's got like a leather bottom that you got to pick.
Oh, that's fancy.
It's really nice.
I like it.
It's just really loud. And so I'm torn. Like, I guess I could put felt on the ramps, but then it's like...
Maybe the noise is part of the appeal?
Maybe? I don't know. I will have to play with it at some point and see how utterly obnoxious it is when I roll 200 dice on it. It sounds like there's a machine gun going off.
That's a lot.
Yeah. No, I like it.
That's awesome, though. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Next time.
It's really pretty. I guess more actual hobby progress. I have been building some Legion stuff.
I've been preparing to build Legion stuff, but been a little derailed.
It's all good. It's all good. I still need to get you your mole, actually.
It's right now is not the time to hand me a sprue. It will be lost.
I thought about it.
In 3 years, I'll be like, I found him. So not yet. Not yet.
Okay, that's good. I thought about it this morning. I was like, oh wait, I don't have time. It's fine. So good.
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah. My stuff being a mess coincides with your stuff being a mess. See, I built the Aqua Droids. Those things are massive.
They looked. You brought the sprues over the other night when we played Blackout, and they looked awesome.
They are super cool. They're about the size of a crisis suit.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. I saw a lot of them on stream over the weekend.
They are chunky.
Yes. And apparently very deadly.
Yes. They seem like they have armor, which not a lot of units have, and just I think they count as blocking line of sight. So you just walk them forward like a wall and use them as a mobile cover.
Oh, wow.
Which is
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that and some ARF troopers, which ARF troopers were one of my, what's the word? I guess my my bucket list unit.
Sure.
That and Clone Commandos. Okay. So now that, actually the thing that made me purchase Legion initially years ago was them releasing ARC troopers. It's like, well, I have to now. Like, it's my username. That's where the ARC in my username comes from.
I assumed it was Star Wars related, but I never really thought about that. Huh.
I shamelessly stole it from my best friend. That was his username in Battlefront 2 way back in the day.
That is so funny because I've always been silver lithium everywhere. And then the guy I grew up with next to me, he had also, and suddenly he was like silver cheese. I was like, what the hell? Come on, man. I'm the silver guy. So
it's with his blessing. It's with his blessing.
Oh, no, I didn't approve.
But yeah, so I took his name, I guess with his blessing. Cool. It's mine now.
Yes.
Because we've discussed it. He's like, nah. It is trippy when we go back and play on his old PS2 in person and he's ARC Command. It's like, wait, no, that's wrong.
Hold on a second. It's like reverse screen watching or something.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. Nice. But yeah, so built some ARF troopers. They are super cool. My one critique I have at the moment of the new AMG models, I don't mind tactical rocks. I less like tactical garbage because a rock I can blend into the base.
Sure.
And a broken grill with like food sitting on it. That was one of the things that it was like.
I'd be cutting that off and making a tactical rock.
Yes. So I don't know if you saw the pictures. I literally took some
I didn't look that closely at them.
All of them are standing on just the rocks that'll blend in with the bases because it's like one dude's sitting on a box and one dude's sitting on a droid head and one dude's sitting. It's like, no, please. It's cool, but it's when I have 3 of the same unit and the commanders are all sitting on a grill. It's kind of weird.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a little.
Speaking of tactical rocks, did you see the Warhammer community post today?
I did not.
It was a tactical rock for humans to stand on, and like,
oh,
there's a minute and a half YouTube video about it.
That's
It's
amazing.
It's pretty funny. I completely forgot it was April Fool's, April 1st. If you're curious when we're recording today.
Whoa.
I was like, why would they? And so, the comments were just like, that's gonna be that's gonna be a huge sprue pile or whatever. And I put together some stuff. Anything else hobby progress wise?
I flirted with the idea of painting my clone commandos last night. I got so close and I was tired and I was like, if I start this, I'm going to be painting these until 2 a.m. So I'm going to just build instead.
This is the way.
Yes. Cause they're primed and ready to go. And it's like, they're just white. Like it shouldn't be that hard.
Shouldn't be, right? Yeah.
But,
just white.
Yeah. I have a really cool idea for how I'm going to do the visors. Cause I don't know if you've looked at them too much, but they're
Not that closely.
blue.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a blue to black fade over their visors because of the heads up display on the inside or whatever. So what I'm going to try and do is tip the guy upside down and just hit it like a pin wash of something really thin with blue on top of there and see how I can make it look. But
I'm curious to see how that works out.
yeah, that'd be cool.
I tried to paint one of my clone dudes, like the Ahsoka clones from the last season.
Yeah,
That is not an easy scheme to nail. Those colors do not go on top of each other easily, and especially in that very specific design.
Yeah.
So that poor guy is going to get hit with the simple green.
yes,
He tried. I tried. Didn't work out great.
honestly, trying to do like all the diamonds and stuff on the helmet. I guess that was probably the part
out.
that was rough.
I'm out. Now, if that little stamp thing that the guys found in the Discord works and I could get whatever I wanted,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
But no.
It's rough, dude. It was hard painting the Shatterpoint 501st guy that I did with the I think I showed you
it's
pictures.
the bigger scale. It's like 25% bigger or something.
Yeah, and the
roughly.
proportions are more accurate. But dude, because I true painting masochist that I am, I did the parallel leg stripes that they had in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh no.
That was hard to freehand. I did it. It's not perfect, but it's the intent.
3 foot roll. 3 foot roll.
Yeah.
It's not Harlequins. You're fine.
But yeah, no, that's about it for me for hobby. I've been slacking.
Join the club. I haven't picked my hobby desk has just been a collect all the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's
Storage.
been bad. I had that great 2 days of hobby progress a while back, and I've literally gotten nothing else done since.
You've
And
got
it's
your quota
it's
for the
been
month.
So yeah, that's how it feels. Month, 6 months. So we played a game of Blackout.
We did.
We played 5 cards plus Duster, 4 cards plus Duster.
4 plus a duster for a total
Okay.
of 5.
That was fun.
That was really fun.
Those completely change the dynamic of the game.
They're horrifying.
Neither one of us wanted to go to the middle.
Yeah.
It was really, and for those that don't know, Dusters are like the giant dreadnought sized dudes, kind of.
Yeah. They're a bit skinnier, but they're pretty much like Primaris.
Sure, yeah, they're
sized.
big mechs.
Yes.
And they just pick up little dudes.
Yeah, you've like deleted 2 or 3 of the guys just
From
standing.
the get go,
Yeah.
I felt so good about that game at that point. It's like, I'm up by 2 already.
Whoa.
And then it all went south again.
To be fair, I only had 3 infantry guys left.
Yeah,
One from each squad. So like you had me low.
Yeah.
I did
It
kill
was
your
fun, though.
Duster.
It changed like I said, it changed the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to be even more tactical with where I was. And of course, the one guy that I had with unit abilities, I'm so bad at things.
The
Armory.
yes.
My one dude that had the 2 armories that could essentially hurt yours was stuck behind things, holding an objective, and had a hostage or rescued a hostage, and he couldn't do anything. And I took him out to take the shot, and he got shot. So
babysit. Yeah, we like those. I mean, that one, I had a veteran. We're doing our normal, I guess, Harlow versus Manticore. So fast versus tough.
as we do, yeah.
Yes. But my veteran choked his shot with a high explosive anti-duster round at your single infantryman twice.
Yep.
I don't even think it's that. I just failed it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah,
didn't
it was
even,
like ones and
block
twos the
it.
whole way. Yeah.
Yeah, with rerolls, might I add.
One of the few times I yelled "Snake Eyes" and it happened. It's great.
It, yeah, but no, it was super fun. I guess once you printed some bridges for me.
I've printed so much stuff for so many people in the last couple of weeks. I have lost all track of who got what.
Adding some more vertical movement kind of.
Yes, we did have the bridges and the things. I think, did we even get on the bridges?
Yeah, a little bit. You did, and then I think I immediately shot your guy in the face.
Yeah, he died quickly. That's why we didn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on the scenario and where stuff was at, like if we played around without dusters, we could put bridges everywhere.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, and of course we had to leave that middle kind of open so they could at least move.
Walk. Yeah, which I guess maybe yours didn't have jump, but mine couldn't technically
you
jump.
could get over some stuff. So all right, but no, it was a fun game. Blackout still kind of our go-to quick skirmish game.
Yeah. So
I think that's it for games played in hobby progress. Oh, I have hobby stuff that I didn't mention.
Oh, what?
I traded off some. First and foremost, I printed an alternative Angron model and a 30K Alfarius for a guy, and I gave him 20 Mark 6 Marines and some Cataphracti dudes. Ooh. And I guess the 2 characters out of the box. Oh, because I've got like 4 of them already.
Oh, the Praetors are.
Yeah. And he, in return, gave me like 2,000 points, give or take, of a Mechanicus army for 30K.
Wow.
So I'm pretty jazzed about that.
Interesting.
Got some allies.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now that just means more hobbying for me, which isn't great. But that's a burden that I'll just have to bear.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, I know. So, all right, now I'm done. So, main topic today, we'll jump into in just a second, but I think we're going to talk about all things Adepticon.
Yeah.
Most things Adepticon, not all things Adepticon, but
the parts that we care about.
Exactly. So let's take a little break and we'll come back and we will talk about a lot of news.
Sounds good.
So we are back from our little break. Let's talk Adepticon.
Yes.
First year, we didn't go. Let's start with that. We didn't go. I wanted to go. It hurt my heart the week before. I just walked around like a lost puppy. But I just couldn't do Disney World one week and then come home for like 3 days and then fly to to Milwaukee.
Your powers are greatly diminished,
man. And somehow after Disney World, like I'm up financially.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I feel like I've not paid something.
Disney Magic, probably.
They got theirs. But it's like now I totally could have afforded it. And I sat here all weekend just like pouting, watching all the streams and the YouTubers go live, and it's like,
I definitely had that up in
as
the background.
I rearranged my hobby room.
Yeah. So. I just had like my phone just like off to the side streaming stuff. I was doing spreadsheets.
A lot of sadness, but a lot of big announcements.
Yes.
So I guess we'll just go down our list here. We kind of threw together a rough list.
Mainly because there's just so much stuff. I can't remember it all.
Yeah, and I wrote my list down and then I spilled like 2 drops of water on it. The page just turned into an inky mess.
Oh.
So I retyped them. So let's start with Blackout since we just talked about it.
Yeah. Basically, they did better than they thought they were going to do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, which I'm really glad to hear.
That's the place to bring people in.
Yes. So pretty much what they released at Adepticon was Strike Force boxes.
Sure, and that's the ones that you have already? Okay.
Yes, so I'm a member of the pack, so you pay a little bit, and then you get access to exclusive stuff, and you get some coupons, and in this particular case, you get, coupons. You get stuff early, which was my main reason. I saw it's like, wait a minute, I can buy 3 whole boxes of guys that no one will get for months.
Wait a second.
Yeah. So those ones that we actually played with, the shield guys you had.
Oh, those were great.
Yes. So all of those were released at Adepticon. That was like the first place the general public got access to them. Apparently they did so well, they're like, hey, and they had planned an online release afterwards. They did it early.
Sure.
On top of that, there's new acrylic tokens for like all of the
those
ready
look good.
and and the lean out tokens and stuff. That's what the exclamation marks are. And also, I didn't know. So I knew about that. They talked about that on their server. I didn't know they were doing like control point and or activation markers. That's what the little faction things are.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool because I think you get a pack of 12 of them or something. You pick the style, but it looks really cool. Huh. And more relevant to me personally, they restocked dune buggies.
What is a dune buggy? Because I saw you say that, but I had not seen them.
So they hadn't been in stock since I've been in the game, but there are actual vehicle rules for this. And
so you can move it around. Okay, I just thought it was. I was like, he's so excited for terrain.
No. Yeah, so like they can actually drive around and stuff, and there's like different rules than dusters, but like they can like lose control and blow up and stuff, and they're like little transports and
Order
stuff.
2.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're kind of two different versions, like with the dusters, but it's like transport version and combat version or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, that's I'd be curious to see like moving people around quickly. That could be interesting. Yeah, I like that.
So
I like that.
That seems cool. And they put the burn cards back up in stock, which I luckily snagged. Right?
Sure,
I snagged them before they went out.
And I think we chose not to use them last week just because we didn't want to throw too much on with the dusters.
Yeah, which I do appreciate that it's kind of just we're going to try 1 or 2 new things and just kind of exist with that. But yeah, no, so really good news for Blackout. I'm very glad. It's been I think around a year-ish or so since the game's been released. So I'm glad.
That's fantastic.
I'm glad that kind of smaller developers are getting some love and having some success.
Well, like I said, I mean, me and Shane went to Adepticon that year, and it was just we demoed and bought. So we bought into Infinity real hard. Mm-hmm. So we were so jazzed about that kind of game.
Yeah,
of course, the rules were crazy as we've talked about. And then we also, me and Jordan went and bought really hard into MCP because it was still kind of newish then too.
Oh, wow. That was a while ago.
It was a year or 2 out, but it just hadn't really been popular. And that's the first year they leaned hard into it. And I mean, if you're going to try games, that's the place to go. Anything else for Blackout or Enemy Spotted Studios?
Other than, I guess they have maybe mentioned, obviously, that's not the end of it. There's more stuff on the way.
Good for them.
They have not been specific, but I'm excited.
I'm curious because it's resin printed things for the most part. Like, do they just have like 10 of these printers just cranking stuff out all day? Or
I have no idea.
You know, because I was looking like everything I bought is like less than a build plate.
Yeah.
So I bet they could print every one of those starter sets on like one build plate. It's just like every 2.5 hours, you know, those 10 printers just banging stuff out.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I don't know. Let's talk about the gigantic 20,000 pound pink elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Games Workshop.
Good old James.
So a little disappointed. There was no Heresy and no Legions Imperialis, which I really thought we'd see something for one of the two.
Yeah.
All the rumors about a 3rd edition swirling for Heresy and not so much as a murmur.
That is kind of odd. I wonder.
And 3 years ago, that's where me and Shane saw them announce 2.0. So I just knew it was going to be a thing.
Precedent's been set that could be where they announce that. Is there another event that you know of between now and summer that they could?
Not a major event that I can think of.
Okay.
Because Adepticon's where they show off. You know, it was Heresy 3.0. It was Warhammer 10. It was this last version of Age of Sigmar. All got announced at Adepticon. Like, that's their big thing. So maybe we get another year of 2.0 before everything gets...
That would be nice. I'm not having to relearn something we just barely learned would be cool.
The rule tweaks are so minimal, though.
That is actually true. I really appreciate... because
I've got my little flip out book for 7th that I kept.
Yeah.
And it's almost like word for word. Other than some cleanup and clarifying things, it looks the same. It feels the same. You'd have to like study them to find the differences. So
it's just some like quality of life
sure.
stuff. I guess that's what they did with Warcry too. It's like they had a
PDF. We don't need a new 365 page book, guys. Come on. Like it's fine. We're in the digital age.
An extra square centimeter of ink on the paper.
Yeah. So let's just dive into 40K because I think that's where a lot of the interest is here.
Yeah.
All the 3 Chaos, the remaining 3 Chaos books got shown off.
Interesting.
And I don't play them, but it is so hard to just not buy all 4 of them to get whatever that token thing is. Like I know I don't need it. I don't, but I want it. You know, I don't even know what it is, but I have to have it. World Eaters getting a 8-bound champion.
Yeah.
It's like an extra somehow. Roided out, 8-bound dude.
Yes, he's just even more jacked and even more angry.
I'm curious to see what bonuses he gives that insane unit.
So I guess
And how hard is he going to hit?
have they confirmed who he leads as far as like?
I would assume he could probably go either way.
Probably
They didn't say
8-bound, right?
Exalted, or I mean, it's the same kid. It's just a
Right.
different head, a different weapon. So
Okay.
he's probably got the same deal. You know, with this arm he's exalted, and with this arm he's just regular 8-bound.
Gotcha,
Because that's how that kid is.
Okay.
I bought 4 of them, and I think I printed 12 torsos, and there was enough heads and extra arms that you could make both with
Interesting.
just extra torsos.
Yeah,
So half of Jeff's torsos are printed.
it's fine. It's fine.
Death Guard didn't really get a lot. They showed the Lord of Poxes again that I think they showed off at LVO. Technically nothing for them, but
They have a lot of characters, don't they? Like, I don't know much about Death Guard, but I swear they have a lot of characters. I saw some comments that people are just like, wow. I mean, I'll take something new, but it's like another character.
so I don't really know what's going on there. Thousand Sons are getting the Sekitar robots.
They are interesting.
I don't like them. They, in my opinion, look awful.
I'm torn. They are very different aesthetically, I feel like.
It doesn't.
The paint is different, though.
I think if I see the Warhammer community article where they've shown like 10 different people painting them,
Yeah.
I will like the model.
Yes.
But I think it was too much white or pale or whatever that color
bone
was.
color.
Yeah.
They actually do look like Shabti
Yeah,
from Fantasy with guns strapped on them, which is...
And they just look so stiff, and it's like I don't know if it's the way they assembled them.
I'm curious about that, too, because it's
One
like...
of the arms was a little curved.
Can you, like, move the knees?
Yeah,
Or are they...
there's so many questions, but they just look like these almost like mummies.
Yeah.
With guns, and I just didn't. I didn't like it. I said some real choice things in the Discord. I think I might have made a couple of people mad.
I don't dislike them. They just seem to stick out a little bit more.
Something's off. Like I don't. Maybe it's the paint job. I don't know.
I mean, the paint job is literally like when they showed the big things.
Ship these to your big painters. Let them do some work, guys. You need some PR on these.
Do a blue, like just make them match everything else in the picture.
It's literally blue and gold. You couldn't have made it blue and gold.
Yeah.
The whole art. Okay.
I'm
not doing it. I'm not doing it. Space Wolves.
Well, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, I am kind of glad that the Chaos is getting more stuff. I'm a little sad that World Eaters still feels like a half-baked army because...
Well, they did say they're going to update a detachment or something and let them have a demon detachment too.
Sure.
So you could take all the Khorne demons.
Fair enough. But I mean, like, they don't have their Terminator equivalents anymore. And they don't have, like, their Mounted. And they don't have Dreadnought equivalent. Like, I feel like...
Pour one out.
I feel like all of the God Allegiant Chaos forces should have their own variant of like here's a Hellbrute that's Khorne, and then here's like a Terminator that's Khorne, and here's a...
You know, Mark, back in my day, Chaos was just one codex.
Oh, wow.
And your elite choices were the 4 elite gods. I've got 4 Chaos books in the floor. I'll show you. But yeah, the elite choices were literally, you know, your Khorne Berserkers or your Death Guard Plague Marines, and that was it.
So they're almost like the equivalent of kind of your Vanguard veterans and like your
that's how that worked.
Devastators and
then they slowly started breaking them out. Then it was like, oh, we only got 13 units in this book. Whoops. But it's okay.
Maybe eventually.
Games Workshop doesn't want to pay me, so I don't get to make the choices. I just get to talk about them.
You know, I've heard mentioned several times before we swap to loyalists in air quotes because they're space wolves. Loyalist.
Technically, the most loyal boys. Okay, I'm just saying.
The Inquisition says otherwise.
Look, there's a little bit of mutation in them. It's fine.
Fine. But Year of Chaos, that's not the first time I've heard that.
It's like October. They wrap it up every year. And it's
I swear I've seen that since since the last 5 years. It's been the Year of Chaos. Like
marketing.
Whoa. But it's like, what do you mean the Year of Chaos? More than the last however many years of Chaos?
I think they did that when 9th came out. Or 8th.
I think they also did it when they did all the refresh for stuff in Age of Sigmar, when they Slaves to Darkness got all its new stuff.
Because they dropped a lot of Chaos. Last year? I don't know.
Last edition.
I don't pay attention to it.
I just have it for Warcry because I was like, oh, look, the Chosen, they're pretty.
We got a model.
Yeah.
All right, now do you want to talk about the best boys?
Sure.
The goodest of doggos. Space Wolves finally getting some updates.
Yes.
And man, Blood Angels players are angry.
Oh?
Yeah. They got just like generic Marines with like a wing. And Space Wolves got like entire wolf themed resculpts.
Yeah. And they actually look good. Like I have a lot of personal preference critiques on a lot of Space Wolf stuff. But honestly, all the stuff looked really cool. Like,
I like it.
They leaned into the cool part of the Viking part.
There are days when I say to myself, Kurt, you shouldn't have sold Connor all those Space Wolves. There are days when I say, golly, I'm glad I offloaded a back seat full of Space Marines.
Yeah.
And this is one of those, like, I was kind of sad about it, but I was like, most of what I sold him just got replaced. Because it was a lot of Grey Hunters and Blood Claws.
Yeah.
So he can continue to have his Short Kings.
Yes, he can. Which I am.
Man, those new sculpts.
Yeah, I am glad though, because it was a little bit like, are they gonna just delete your whole army?
Well, on that note, they did say that there are only 20 entries in the Codex.
That's a lot less.
Currently in the Index, there are 35 entries.
They're also adding some, right? Because like the head takers are new.
Head takers are new, so it's like, what's gonna go? You know,
Interesting.
is this where Bjorn finally gets put down?
You know, I saw someone talking about it that they've been pushing him just as like reminding people he exists. So I feel like
marketing.
Yeah,
Clear that stock.
But I mean, maybe he gets like a Primaris Dreadnought equivalent. They put him in a bigger body.
I wish if they legend a character off, as they've done in all of the armies so far, give us a short story. Tell us how he got put down, you know?
Yeah.
Tell me about the battle where, I'm drawing a complete blank, where like XYZ Space Marine finally met his match. Like the Drakari did this or the Orc boss did that. Like, give me, you guys are so about the fluff. Tell me how he died.
Yeah. Or just kind of give the character a send off that it's like, we're getting rid of this character.
Yes.
Give him a send off. Just kind of like
battle barge got exploded because of, I don't know, the Tyrannid shot a spy. Pick it, literally a blurb. It could be a paragraph.
They forgot to lock the doors. They got sucked out into space.
Because they're going to kill off my boy Crom, Dragon Gaze.
Oh.
I can feel it coming. He's tiny, you know, and it's like, I'd love to know how Crom goes out.
Yeah. So those look cool. I heard whispers of Terminators that they didn't show off yet.
And that could just be an upgrade sprue. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Of course, they've always had so with Space Marine Terminators, and I'm sure you know this, it's usually shooty or weapons.
Yes.
There's not an in-between.
Yes.
Space Wolf Terminators are the unique, snowflakes that can have both.
Mix and match.
Mm-hmm. And they get the cool shoulder pad rocket launcher things.
Oh.
That really are from Heresy, but they got to keep theirs.
Interesting.
So that was part of my thing is like I had 2 of those in every unit because I had like 15 units of Terminators.
Sure. That's why Connor has so many. I have fought some of his.
Literally, Connor's 90% of Connor's stuff is my old stuff. I'm so sorry to anybody that's lost to him. Those Thunderwolves were not intended to do that. But yeah, new head taker, a new Wolfguard battle leader, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming. That Wolf Priest looks so.
I was gonna say I love the if you want to have the wolf aesthetic, make it like the bones, like wearing the skull.
Did you notice anything specific about a lot of the armor these new Space Wolves have?
They have a lot of not Aquilas.
Heresy mark armor. A lot of Heresy mark armor because I guess that's just their thing. They're using the old runic
Yeah.
So if you look, there's a lot of Mark 6.
It looked very distinct, and I was like, I like this. It's cool.
So it's like, did they sculpt these from the Age of Darkness box?
Just
is that the STL they started from when they? Yeah. So interesting stuff.
Yeah.
We're getting a new chapter approved mission deck. It's not the Pry Nexus. It's not what was the Tyrannid one?
Was it just Indomitus?
No, it was something else. That was the 9th starter. But the Tyrannid one had a name too. And this time it's just chapter approved.
Interesting.
I was like, because the new Crusade book is Armageddon. Oh. The last Crusade book was Pry Nexus, the one behind the Tyrannic War. Was that? No. What was that called? Doesn't matter. I'm going to think of it at like 2:00 in the morning when I wake up to pee. I'm like, it was this. And Jordan's going to be so mad because I'm going to wake up the whole house. But new cards. I might pass on these.
Yeah.
No, but then there's that FOMO because I bought the last ones after I quit playing and then everybody was sold out for like 6 months. So it's like, do I just in case I decide I want to play, like, you know, like
Only thing that is vaguely interesting to me is the asymmetrical deployments and some of the missions that are a bit more like.
There's some neat stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to split a set?
Just have one.
Since you're about the only person I play anymore. It's fine. It's fine. So that's neat.
Yeah.
We do have a new Crusade book coming, Armageddon. How much do you know about Armageddon? Do you know what Armageddon is?
That is the planet where Yarick was
Older.
correct? Older. Armageddon.
You
War of the
haven't
Beast?
fully read the Heresy novels, have you?
No.
Have you heard of Ulanor? Oh, by the way, we're going to spoil the hell out of some Heresy stuff. The books have been out for 15 years. Deal with it. Ulanor.
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar.
It is the planet where they finished off the orcs pre-Heresy.
Okay.
During the Crusade, that was the last big hoorah.
Okay.
And they essentially, the Emperor announced on Ulanor that he was leaving the Crusade. So they literally paved like most of the planet.
Okay. And that's when
That's
he
where
made
the big
Horus
gathering
Warmaster.
Horus was
and
made
then-
Warmaster
okay.
there, all these things.
Gotcha.
Now, later on in the lore, the Mechanicus did some really crazy things and did some warp shenanigans and moved Ulanor
Oh.
across the galaxy.
Oh.
Now, Ulanor was the home planet of the orcs. They originated there.
That I did not know.
So Armageddon is Ulanor.
Oh.
Deep
That's
guts.
interesting.
So that's why the orcs are always fighting for Armageddon.
that
because
makes a lot more sense.
we don't know that in current timeline, but that is their homeworld.
So they're trying to get back there.
Trying to get home, man. ET phone home. Dang, that was good. I didn't plan that, but I like that. In spoilers.
Interesting.
That's neat that we're getting a crusade about this now.
That makes a lot more sense thinking about it. Why the
that's
orcs
why
are
it's
always fighting
always
on
been in the
Armageddon.
lore.
I was
Yeah.
like, what did they? What? I mean, I assumed it was just
That's
like
home.
they realized
That's
that
home.
they fight.
It's the salmon
fight
going
there.
back to the spawning pools, man. They're just trying to. Of course, I don't think they even know why they're trying to get there. It's like we have to have it. It's a whole thing.
right.
But that's what's up. And it was in a book. I couldn't tell you which one. I listened to so many books when I used to travel for work and spend like 20 hours a week in the car. I was just banging out 40K books left and right. Surprise.
Interesting.
With the Crusade stuff, we are getting a Grey Knight upgrade.
Yeah,
kit.
it's like they just slapped a mace on the
Poor
Dread
Grey
Knight.
Just Primaris some.
Don't even
Lore be
you don't
damned.
even have to Primaris them. Just make them like because like the Chaos Legionnaires are bigger. They're not
Just
Primaris
scale 'em up a
size,
little
but they're
bit.
bigger.
You don't have to
Yeah.
wink, wink. Like just bring them up. Bring them up to speed.
I heard rumors of, and I'm sure a lot of people that remotely keep up with it do, but I did hear some rumors of Dread Knight upgrade sprue. I was hoping they'd fix his face so he looks less like I'm not the kind of I think Centurions are cool. They need to be adjust the proportions a little bit. Like you have to fiddle with the I spent like an hour and a half building one because I was like sawing the shoulders to make them narrower,
Grey Knight's a
extend the
Centurion.
legs, like the Centurion.
Oh, yeah. See, I never bought the kit because while they were neat, I was like, that's dumb. It's like a Marine and a Marine.
It's like I'm okay with the Marine and a Marine more just from the fact that I could see like you just carry these suits of armor and then you're
as needed or something.
it's kind of I'm just gonna hop in the
Those siege drills were sweet.
yes. It's principle, man.
Yeah,
Imperial
no,
Fists.
I get it.
I can put hurricane bolters on them, and like, of course, now they're not good that way. But when I had started building them in
still
ninth,
is.
that's fair. When I had started building them in ninth, it was dual heavy bolters and a hurricane bolter each, and they were just gonna shoot. They weren't gonna kill much, but it was kind of the principle.
It looks cool on the table. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it. I I play like an orc.
Hey,
As many dice as possible.
and now you get Sassane too. Woo! Unless you're in Germany and that got banned. Well, speaking of Armageddon still for the last bit here, they showed off in that book there's going to be Hellscape battlefields
Interesting.
with like warp energy changing the game and stuff.
So is this just like environmental rules, or are they releasing like boards for it?
I'm sure it's environmental rules and just cool little this turn psychic powers or whatever or extra AP on. I don't know. It's just a cool thing to add narratively.
Yeah, just
it's
flavor.
like this is a campaign that I would love to run.
Yeah.
Just because like everybody can battle for Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as 40K goes, I think that wraps that up.
Yeah.
The next topic is short, but very near and dear to my heart. Let's talk Old World for just a minute.
Yeah, dude, I saw some of the. I'll get to it in a second, but the new models are so pretty.
So Wood Elves and Beastmen are coming.
Yes.
I had both of those armies let's say, destruction of the original Old World.
Yes.
my wife had the coolest fantasy army. They had the goblin spider riders and the dryad ladies were like, they kit bashed them to where the and I've got pictures, but they're bad because they're 20 years old.
Sure.
It was like this cool like dryad spider thing.
Interesting.
And those were her like mounted archers. They were cool. And I also had a beastman army that was just the coolest.
Beastmen are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites in Total War Warhammer.
Vermintide
1, 2, and 3.
Vermintide made me realize how cool Beastmen were with the expansion. Just the Bestigors and the full plate. So cool.
Yep.
Jumping around.
And having your great shaman and I miss that game. It would take so little for me to just start buying. I just sold the high elves. I didn't talk about I sold high elves.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Finally, after 10 years.
How many people
sold
did you have to
the
kill?
high elves? So I finally just was like, screw it. Name price and take them. And he named the price. And I was like, they've been on the show for 12 years. They're gone.
Fair enough.
So no more high elves.
Which I guess did you see any new models for the Wood Elves and Beastmen, or is this kind of just...
It's just re-releases.
Re-releasing.
One of the models from the high elf lot we kept for my wife to use as a ranger in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, cool.
I lost it. It's here.
You just don't know where it's at.
I don't know where it's at.
That's fair.
They're bringing that model back in metal.
Oh.
So I'm going to surprise her if she doesn't somehow listen to this and buy her that model again. But it was painted like top tier. Like I'll never replicate that.
Sure.
But at least she's decent at painting. She could paint it up again. But she loved that model. And then also with the old world, they finally, after years and years of begging for them, showed off the Cathay army.
It was really cool. I love the color for their like stuff. I guess what was that like
the jade or something?
Yeah, dude, I adore that color. So that automatically got on marks in my book. But they look really cool.
Yeah. You should see the teals I have on my paint rack. By the way, those are beautiful colors. Everything is brand new sculpts. Yeah, and it's really cool. But what really stood out is that sky lantern.
That was wild looking.
I couldn't get a good read on how big it was.
It looked pretty big.
But it looks awesome.
For those who, I guess, didn't see it, it's basically like...
hot air balloon, kind of?
A hot air balloon that's like a Chinese lantern, basically?
With a very angry lady holding 2 bombs and the lighter in her mouth. Did you notice that?
I did not.
The best part of that model is this very angry lady holding 2 bombs, looking for something to throw at. And like the firework, like punk-looking thing is in her mouth. And she's
ready.
It is awesome.
That's amazing. My favorite models, though, I think were was it Cathayan Sentinels? Those look so cool. I knew basically nothing about Cathay, and I haven't played Total War Warhammer, but I've watched it, and seeing those, they were so cool.
Next time it's on sale, you should pick that up.
It's more like do I want to commit the like $120 to get the full 1 through 3 with all the expansions?
Well, what's cool though is you buy the DLC for like 2, it still works in 3.
Yes.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
But you wait for a humble bundle,
get one of those.
Or just family share you.
Oh,
start with one and just work your way up.
Yeah, it does.
I would almost guarantee you we would have a very serious discussion about buying into the old world though. When I'm playing the high elves, oh man, it's accurate,
awesome.
And there's a mod out there called I can't think of the mod, but it makes the game more like the tabletop.
Interesting.
In terms of like unit sizes and how killy things are, and it adjusts all the things. So like it makes the high elves a little more elite, but it turns the goblins into like true hordes. Because I think the units were capped at like 40, but it makes the units like 120.
Oh wow!
But it makes them a lot weaker.
Yeah. And so you can. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. And then finally, the Storm Dragon Mayo Yang. I don't know how to. I'm from Franklin County. I cannot pronounce anything, so we're gonna go with that. That was cool.
That is an awesome model.
All of them, dude. When your battle line stuff looks cool, you know the army is gonna be pretty cool. Like when your basic infantry.
But it was one of those like, man, I just stole those high elves. I could use a new world army. And I was like, I haven't played in 12 years.
Dude, the fact that depending on how obviously, I guess Warhammer 40K used to have it, but depending on the material you paint your Sentinel, they have different rules.
Yeah.
It's like one that's made out of like terracotta or one that's made out of granite or obsidian. It's like, that is so cool.
Talk me off the ledge, Mark.
Back up.
Yeah. All right, on to Kill Team.
Yes.
Kill Team Typhoon.
I was a little surprised, but not disappointed that Raveners were the pick. I didn't
see it coming. I didn't see it coming.
I thought it'd be Shrikes.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen. Ooh,
Shrikes and Gargoyles. That was my thought.
that would have been cool.
Because I mean, they already did the.
These guys were due because the models that were the new models were still like when I started playing. Those were new plastics.
You know, they're not awful.
No.
I had some old Raveners when I had Tyranids, but it's mainly their scythes were like 4 times thicker than they needed to be. They looked more like they were going to stab you with a corn cob than a blade.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's fine. But no, those look good. And the terrain.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the Kill Team rules do with it or how it, because, they do it in like seasons, I guess, as far as the terrain goes. So like this season, it's this. And then we go from playing like inside the ship to outside the ship. And so like, is it going to be a lot of terrain coming out? Is it going to be more Tyranid themed? I have so many questions. But man, wouldn't it be cool to get some really big kits? Not that we can't produce them quickly here in the studio.
Still, it'd be cool just to see it more widespread.
Yes.
Also, servitors, like they should have had models a while ago.
They've always been so useless in 40K though. But I feel like Kill Team's kind of the place for them.
It's more just like AdMech should have them as something. Like just have them.
Didn't they have them? It used to be at AdMech and Colt Mechanicus, and I thought they had models there, but
I think
maybe
they did, but like we haven't had any actual
overnight.
models except in like that Inquisitor's retinue or whatever. But like, I mean, in 9th when it was Space Marines, I technically could have servitors. It's just there's no models for them. So.
Well, I've got some Space Wolf servitors in metal old blisters.
Interesting. Huh.
I never took them out. It's one of those things I just wasn't digging out.
Yeah, well, it's like, I mean, they're not my interest personally, but it's also one of those things in the lore. These are supposed to be used in combat. I feel like we should have a model for something that, like, it's like it's Tau army without drones. It's like, this is kind of weird, at least for Mechanicum.
Yeah, it's. I didn't really look. I was more excited about the Tyranids. I didn't really look at the servitors. If I'm being completely honest, but it's. I'll take another look.
Yeah. Oh, just having servitors was kind of cool. But the Raveners were neat that they had the different variants. Some of them were maybe not my preference. They looked a little like we're going to slap everything on the Ravener, but I like the sleek Raveners.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So I think that wraps up our Games Workshop segment here.
Yes.
Let's move on to Atomic Mass Games, which I feel like they had a huge weekend.
Yeah, it seemed like they were...
I don't want to say they won Adepticon because they still are not the GW beast.
Sure.
But
they won it to me.
their preview, man, they previewed. They know how to preview.
Yeah.
And roadmap.
Yeah.
So
that roadmap looked like a daily schedule almost.
Man,
that was
they're going to be busy. I don't know where they produce their stuff. But
it's so ambitious. Like we'll get into it, but it's like it far exceeded my expectations for what they could feasibly do. And much less because I'm sure that's not all of it as far as
there'll be more.
Mini Stravaganza comes around in a month or so.
I will say the only thing I feel like they dropped the ball on is the Adepticon exclusive miniature / display terrain thing.
That got
sold out in 6 minutes or something.
They put it back on and then it went out again, like the same thing. Because I looked when I saw it.
Now
it was
I'm
late
more
at night.
disappointed. You didn't get one for your boy.
I'm good for
it.
If there was one,
all
I
the
would have
stuff
got
I printed.
it.
I have the cash.
Hand me my cash back. But no, I did look. It was like middle of the night, and I saw that, and I went to look. I was like, I'll get it if they have it. And of course, they don't.
But yeah, it was Ahsoka fighting Darth Vader. I wanted it. I don't really play that, but
cool
on the
display
shelf.
piece.
Yeah, my kid would love that in his room. I think we talked about this last time. I was so excited to get it and didn't get a chance. Missed it by like 6 minutes because I was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I should check. And gone.
To be fair, all the bots probably bought it the second it popped up.
Oh, yeah, they were on eBay for $400.
Yeah.
I just, makes me sick. So, Star Wars Legion.
Yes.
What a roadmap.
Yeah, that's so they have been talking for I think over a year now that they were going to basically redo all the soft plastic kits.
Original sculpts.
Yes, because the first, droids were always hard plastic, but clones and
they're bendy.
Yeah.
Very bendy.
And you can work with them. I don't hate the material, but
I didn't mind it. It was different, or it was nice to see something different than like the hard GW plastic. I was interested.
Yeah. But so pretty much they said that they were going to do that, and I kind of figured it'd be slow-ish.
Yes. I mean, because it's taken a year, but yes.
Well, slowish when they got around to it, though. I kind of figured it. But pretty much they released, they're just like, hey, yeah, everything, because there's also been having stock issues.
Yes.
Like, I know when we mentioned kind of the top mini sales of the fall,
we talked about that
Legion
last
wasn't there. And they have not been keeping stuff in stock. And I feel like now we know why. Because they're just redoing
everything.
Yeah.
They halted production on almost everything.
Wild. Like I really I hope it pays off for him because it's an aggressive strategy. But
it's strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, let's see how this pans out. But so like I said, they had mentioned that a while ago that was going to happen. I did not anticipate it would be this thorough when they got around to it.
Let's go. Let's see it. I hope this takes off.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how and why that can happen very soon. Yeah. But my top thing, Ahsoka can be taken as like a standalone upgrade to clone units.
Yes. So
that's awesome.
Republic when they changed, we're gonna say it's second edition. I don't care what they say. Second edition, clones have a unique upgrade slot, which is commander. So you can have like Jedi there.
Yes.
Just generic ones, but
very cool to have in the units.
Yeah. Ahsoka is the first named Jedi that can be taken as like a commander, and you can take her as a separate unit. I guess she would be a commander of an operative,
right?
But you can take her as an upgrade or a
kind of bubble wrapper or whatever with a clone unit,
which is super cool because you have like the really young Ahsoka, and that's the one
Padawan
that
Ahsoka.
Yes, like Padawan
gets real creepy when you start saying like it's young. It's like no, it's Padawan Ahsoka, Padawan Ahsoka.
But yeah, no, Padawan Ahsoka. Is she can basically lead a clone unit, and then you can have a little bit further in the Clone Wars, and she's her own unit. Which, man, they have made us wait so long. Because I'm a Republic player first, I guess technically. They made us wait so long for Ahsoka. Like Rebels got her first.
Oh yeah.
Like
Fulcrum or whatever.
Yeah. It's come on.
I think you could probably thank the Ahsoka show for that one flashback or whatever.
Yeah, just
spoilers.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's been out for a year. You should have watched it by now.
If you care about spoilers, the statute of limitations has passed. But yeah, no, that's super cool. They released kind of. I don't know if you saw kind of pictures beforehand, but like just seeing minis and cases. There were some characters that people didn't know what they were.
Sure.
And turns out they're releasing customizable commanders.
So cool. I can print ahead of me and put me on a Jedi body now. Are you kidding me?
Well, they have different stats. Yeah. You pick their weapons.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you got like your rebel officer, and that it seemed like there was one dude in like pretty heavy armor and some
I didn't look that close. I was just like, and just all the pictures of things I knew, and I was like,
I saw that. And then the Imperials have like a generic officer that can do different things, and then like an ISB agent if you want that instead. And then generic Jedi that can be upgraded and changed. And then the droid's got a super tactical droid that can be given.
What's that or something else? There's two options for them, isn't there?
I think they're both super tactical.
Maybe. Okay. I'm awful with like the lettering and like it's a IG. What? I have no idea, man. I can't.
There's a lot, but that's super cool because it almost feels a little bit 40K as far as
that. I thought in upgrading the war gear and the things, and it's like, man, you could really cut. Like my army needs good shooty dude or a tanky dude or just an offensive whatever because I'm all shooty like it. I like that you can kind of piece that in now.
Yes.
That's really, really neat.
That is cool because we've had generic characters for a while. Just like here's a generic rebel officer. They're cheap. They fill your requirement for your list if you just want it. Their support. But now maybe kind of we'll have some other options to do that. Also, mounted characters. Grievous on a wheelbike.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but he's on there. Yeah, so Grievous on wheelbike and Luke and Han on tauntauns were what they teased.
I saw that. I thought that was kind of like
so they're doing mounted characters.
Yeah.
Now.
Hey,
also a Magna Guard and a Commando droid on wheelbikes as their own unit.
I missed all the mounted stuff.
It's farther out.
Okay,
but
still.
Yeah. So yeah, Grievous has got his like lightsaber sticking out and he's gonna like hit someone like with it like a ball.
Oh, please tell me he's got like hit and run or something, so just whack something and keep going.
Oh, and I guess on top of the refresh though, some of the stuff that was already hard plastic is getting redone, which is kind of cool. Arc Troopers are getting redone.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I think there's a couple other things that are getting, but it's more just they're a lot of characters kind of, or they're redoing the packs. They're doing like the Marvel Crisis Protocol thing where it's here's 5 characters in a box.
Oh, that's nice.
Some people don't like because then you don't have the option, but it makes sense because then you don't have to have 5 boxes on your shelf. Like you just have that much shelf space.
Sell it for a little bit more and you get more stuff.
And it's fewer products to keep track of and to keep in stock, and it's just easier for everyone pretty much.
We need to take a trip to Huntsville.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm sure they have some cool stuff.
The Deep has so much Legion stuff.
That would be cool. We should go.
We could make some really bad financial decisions in there.
Do it together.
I can say Mark made me.
Yes.
It was a deal. Mark made me buy them, honey.
And I can say Mark made me too.
You don't have to answer it, anybody. So in addition to all of that, they've also shown off starter sets for all 4 factions.
Yes.
And Legion's played at 1,000 points now.
Yes. It used to be 800. Now it's 1,000.
Mm-hmm. So these starter sets are all around 600 points each, which gives you
really good
2/3-ish of an army.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe more depending on upgrades. So there's that. Each of these starter sets is, and I counted, between 36 and 39 models each.
It's significant.
So you're getting almost 35 to 40 models for whatever you buy. So you're getting a decent sized army or force. And it comes with all the tokens, measurement sticks, the dice, the access, all the things you need.
That used to be kind of a problem because previously the starter sets were 2 factions, which is cool from like I'm going to buy this and play it with my bud kind of thing. But also if it's I want to play clones and I don't care about droids.
Sure.
Now I have to offload that. 500 points worth of droids or whatever. But so now it's kind of, it's individualized. But yeah, the fact that it's under $100 and it's 60%-ish or more of your army.
$95 MSRP for all of them.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Compare that
in a Custodes Start Collecting box?
Yeah.
165 now?
They're like 50% more expensive, I think. And you need maybe 4 to make an army sometimes.
I mean, look at Guard is only like 350
Adeptus
points.
Mechanicus, they're like 300 points.
Gene Stealer Colt's not much better now.
Yeah. Good luck buying 5 of those and spending $600 on a Start Collecting kind of, which is supposed to be a discount box, might I add.
Technically, it is.
But yeah, so the fact that they're kind of punching into that, because that's not a bad...
$168 for the Tyranids Combat Patrol.
Ugh.
Which roughly has about the same amount of models, but that's crazy.
But just like percentage of game, like you need so much more. So that is, I feel like, a very competitive spot.
3/5 of what you need to play. And granted, there's other stuff you can buy, but just in that point level is its own little game mode too.
Yes.
Kind of like a Start Collecting or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible.
Yeah. No, that's really, really good. That's better than I anticipated, honestly. I didn't think they'd be able to pull that off. Because
you got a deal somewhere.
You basically get, if I'm understanding it right, I think I saw basically you get 1 unit and your character without paying for it, as far as like the discount. And I mean, there's like only 4, it's like maybe 4 units and a character, I think is the normal spread.
Still.
So you're paying for the price of 3 units and you're getting the 4th unit and a character free.
Yeah. Buy 3, get 2 free.
Yeah.
That's how I buy my sodas. Which I quit this week, by the way. I haven't had a soda in like 48 hours. Hence the like 7 waters I've pounded since you've been sitting here. I'm struggling. That's why I fell asleep in my chair.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Then I had to make a pot of coffee to stay awake. That's neither here nor there. Lastly, for Legion, I think I forgot to put this on the list. I don't know how I forgot about Hondo.
I fixed it.
Thank you. I forgot. So
yes.
Hondo's getting his own unit faction thing.
It's going to behave a little bit like Shadow Collective behaves. Sure. Well, mercenaries in general. Yeah. Mercenaries, except for Shadow Collective, are not a standalone army. You cannot just take mercenaries.
Right.
So it's going to be just mercenary units. I think the pirates can plug into anything.
Okay.
Including Shadow Collective, which is significant because Shadow Collective hasn't had a new unit since it came out. Because Shadow Collective is a very narrow point in like the timeline, so it's
very well aware.
Yeah, so it's pretty much here's what you got. Not only they teased just regular Weekway pirates, and Hondo and the tank. And the tank is so gorgeous. I always thought that tank looked cool, like when it showed up in Clone Wars. But
man, I'm so excited for what they're doing with the Star Wars IP, man.
Did you see the alternate turret options?
I didn't look that close. I just saw the big picture of the army. I was like, oh, cool, and kept going because it was like midnight when I was scrolling on my phone. I just
excuses, yes. But so there's like a little pintle gun on it. You could have a Pike sitting there, or a Black Suns guy, or so since it plugs into those forces, it doesn't have to be a Weequay guy driving it. You can like put different dudes in there, which is really so cool. If you wanted to paint it like mall colors or something, have like the
stop
the
selling me. All right, so that wraps up Legion. Let's touch on Shatterpoint and Marvel Crisis Protocol.
One of the things for Legion, they're re-releasing like all the card packs. There's like 1 million card packs coming out.
Well, there's going to be a tournament kit for stores, a league kit, or like
it's just like there's objective packs, there's command card packs, there's unit card packs. So it's pretty much anything that has been print and play before. You will have an opportunity to get a physical copy if you care.
Which I'm happy about because as much as I love to use my color printer, it is expensive.
This is fair.
And cardstock is not cheap.
Yes.
Or energy from Magic the Gathering on both sides, because that's how I did my MCP cards. I just printed in color and put a card between it, and bam!
That's what I did for Warcry. So
nice. Yeah. So Shatterpoint, as we just discussed with Legion, they're getting tournament and store league kits, which look really cool.
Some like unique foil cards, I think.
And there's a lot of cool things for stores if it's big in your area. They do have some new kits coming out. I was really excited, and the one that's really struck to me first, I was a huge Balin Greyjoy fan. Or was it Greyjoy? Balin something. Greyjoy feels like Game of Thrones. Was that it?
I'm not sure, actually.
Balin I love that character, and I hate that he died. It still breaks my heart. But he's getting a kit with Shin, and honestly, I don't know what the other two characters in it were. I just saw those two, and I was like, I have to get it. If nothing else, just to paint up and put on the shelf. Because I thought that was one of the best characters. I'm glad they're going to keep the character around in Ahsoka, but I hate that they've recasted him.
Yeah.
He was so good at that. There's shoes to fill, and I don't know that whoever it was can do it.
It'll be difficult.
And also from the Ahsoka show, and I don't remember the lady's name, the witch that was kind of the secondary character there.
Yes, were they like the night troopers?
Yes, the night trooper, undead stormtrooper dudes. Was that? I don't remember.
Enoch was the dude with the gold faceplate.
Yes, but they're getting all the undead stormtroopers and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks awesome. Shatterpoint is doing some stuff right. Don't know how they're gonna play, or maybe they get to come back or something. But that looks cool.
Yes,
they didn't hit anything when they shot, but golly, that was a really unexpected scene.
Yeah,
that blew me away. Yeah, and I'll let you speak on the next one here. You have a lot of exclamation points. So
yes, so a particular interest of mine that I mentioned I wanted in Legion several times.
Yes,
they appeared in Legion, and now they're getting a Shatterpoint release too. It's Delta Squad. I was very late to actually playing Republic Commando, but the trailer for the game was on the disc from like the old 2003 Clone Wars I had. Oh. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome.
And like my dad just would get me random clone troopers sometimes. I had like a couple of the Republic Commando figures when I was little. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, Delta Squad is getting their own release, which is so cool to me because they already released Commandos, and I kind of figured that was it for that.
Wouldn't be that hard to like add something to the sculpt.
Yeah. So that kind of gives me hope for the future too, though, because relatively they're canon, but they're like as barely canon as you can get. Like they showed up in Clone Wars for like 30 seconds, had like 2 lines of dialogue, and I guess Scorch showed up in Bad Batch to die like a chump.
On that same note, though, Disney brought out the Mara Jade lightsabers.
Yeah,
and they were like, she's not canon. Like, what are we doing? This is the first non-canon, and so. What's going on over there? I know there's so many movies and shows and stuff in development, but it's like, maybe?
Well, dude, because we could get like Revan or something.
Don't
you
do that to me. Stop.
Like that would be so cool. But Dirge is canon again now. He showed up in Dr. Aphra comics. I don't know anything about her. I just know he has shown up in canon comics now. Okay. So like, there are some characters that were no longer canon that are again. So it's because think how long though if they have to be in development from start to finish. Like they had to be working on Delta Squad for a while.
And Disney's not going to just let you put something out.
Yeah.
So that's
with how limited, in all things considered, the limited cast of characters that they've released. They have it's a lot, but the fact that Delta Squad's in the first 50, 100,
sure.
like that's
interesting.
Yeah. So I do kind of like that because. Yeah, I'm curious to see where that will go. And, you know, another one is I have to get them for the shelf, even if we don't play that often.
Tell me about it. The market is a slippery slope. Let me just say, pump the brakes, buddy.
I already have the game built.
Just
Mine's
stay off of Bartertown and Reddit.
Mine's at least built.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You got me. All right, so real quick, because we are kind of not running over, but there's a lot to cut.
Yes.
MCP. Tons of new kits. I'm not going to rattle them all off. Phoenix is coming.
Ironmonger stood out to me because I like Iron Man villains. And
Spider-Ham. Okay, let's go. You know, I'm so excited.
I am a little personally insulted that Spider-Ham is going to be a model before Doctor Doom.
Look,
and
that is
Fantastic
a tirade that's
Four.
coming. Okay.
Like,
you've got a movie that's probably going to make $750 million. Using characters that haven't been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe other than, you know, the Fox movies from the early 2000s. And you didn't tie it in. Now, maybe they still have. They just haven't shown it off.
Extravaganza.
Coming soon.
But we have 3 unique Doc Ock models and no Doctor Doom model.
Give me the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Doom is my bad guy.
And they're showing up. They're like, I don't play Marvel Rivals, but they're in Marvel Rivals now. Like there's new stuff being put out that is Fantastic Four and the movie. And we still don't have models for them. But you gave me a pig. Like
when you put it like that, maybe I'm not excited for Spider-Ham anymore. Whatever.
But yeah, so he better be really good when he comes out is all.
They're pulling characters that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Which is, it's neat.
Yeah.
Like you've got all these characters that I want. Like,
yeah.
Let me support you. I will give you money.
They released the Android Human Torch before Johnny Storm.
Again, Torch. They don't pay me for my opinion, so all I can do is
surprised.
AMG's not going to pay us after this one.
Yeah, it's fine.
But on the MCP front, they're putting out, just like Legion, actual starter sets,
which is really cool.
It's X-Men and Spider Foes, which is kind of cool. I mean, I feel like you probably could have done Avengers or something too, maybe down the line.
Sure.
To get the characters and the cards and the dice and the measuring tools and all the things you need, and it not be a starter set. And there's no terrain in these starter sets, but still, if you're just playing or you see people playing and you're like, oh, I want to play too, like there's your 7 or 8 character X-Men pack. That's probably about $100, I would wager.
And they do also sell terrain separately, so it's like not.
Yes.
It's
they have some cool terrain.
They do.
That terrain's just kind of pricey for what it is.
It is. It's a car, and it's very
well. There's like the turrets and the like. There's some really cool
the Hydra stuff.
Yeah,
the Hydra
the plane.
Oh, the
Blackbird.
Yes,
I'd love to have it.
Yeah,
it's big, and I don't have anywhere to put it. You know,
on the shelf with the other things that are on the shelf.
I don't have any more shelves. I need more. I'm going to IKEA in a couple weeks to get more shelves. I don't need more shelves.
Well, then, but after you have the more shelves, you have to put something on it, right?
No, you're an enabler. You need to stop, Mark. So that kind of wraps up. So War Machines and War. I don't know the game. Malifaux stuff is coming out too.
Yes, War Machine and Hordes used to be 2 separate games. Now they are the same game.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I have no idea. Yes. I've never touched it. I've always seen it on the shelf. It looks neat. They also had a bunch of announcements. I think I saw a slideshow with like 19 or 20 pictures on Reddit. Those models look really cool.
They're pretty large, all things
considered. Yeah, the big models. There's like dragons and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. I don't know anything about it. It's interesting. I know not to buy it just because, you know, it's me and you and like one other guy.
Yeah.
But the models are cool, man. Good for the players. I know they recently got purchased by like the community.
Yeah,
or something.
They're
bringing back the old paint lines. Mm-hmm. Like they got so much stuff going for them, and I hope it works out. It looks cool.
I think the new minis are like modular and 3D printed as well. So like they're not metal and awful to build. Because
I know they had switched to plastic for a little bit, but
I think now it's just like resin. But I heard the old metal jacks were miserable to build.
It looked. I used to watch them play at the Murfreesboro store Great Adventures.
Ah.
And it was like, it was like a strip of paper was the terrain equipment. And I was like, that's what you're using? Like, granted, time I was playing fantasy, so it was like a graveyard and a tower. So,
sure.
But at least we had 3D terrain and not like, oh yeah, you cut that out of a piece of paper and just laid it down, and that's nerds.
We'll, I think, save that discussion for a later episode because I have my own opinions on terrain.
Some Mark hot takes.
Yes.
Oh my. And then I guess the makers of Infinity, Corvus Belli, they are really promoting their new fantasy game.
Is that like the fantasy Infinity,
Warcrow,
basically?
Yeah. Those models look good.
All their models look good. They do
And
a good
they're
job.
transitioning to plastic. I think the new stuff's plastic.
Okay.
But those models look cool. And I've had to keep myself from even looking into the game because I know me. And
Don't open Pandora's box.
You can see that BattleTech, Infinity, Titanicus, Age of Darkness, Legions Imperialis, 2 Star Wars Legion boxes, a Shatterpoint box, Necromunda. So
And Infinity on the shelf too.
yeah. It's just I can't. No more games, Kurt. I've sold a lot of stuff though. I'm proud of me.
Yeah, you have begun. Have you begun or finished your Great Purge?
Still towards the beginning parts. I've got a lot of stuff I want to list.
Sure.
I just
Takes
like
time.
the Necrons have got to go. Like I love my kid and I'm glad he wants to play, but he is not ready for it. And if he decides Necrons in the future, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
But now my 6-year-old daughter's like, what army do I get? And I was like, what? No. So I'm trying to lean him into like Shatterpoint or something.
Yeah,
It's small, it's kind of quick.
There's 8 dudes.
Yeah. And I think if I was to learn it, I might be able to teach it to him a little better. Mm-hmm. Or we played Legion out here and he loved it.
Yeah.
So, I something that just isn't complicated and you have an encyclopedia as your rule book.
And changes every 30 minutes when you're in the middle of a game.
All right. So I think that kind of wraps up the Adepticon coverage.